Looking good.
Thanks.
And the film Little Children, which you're here to talk about, is a very, very interesting movie, isn't it?
I think so.
It is a very interesting. We'll talk about that in just a moment. You're on doing the rounds now. You're going around the world talking about the movie, and you're telling me you've had, although I've not heard the full story, that you had a most intriguing, not to say bizarre, encounter with a French talk show host.
Oh, my goodness. This was quite something. I mean, I had this moment where I thought, I'm actually in Lost in Translation. It was so bizarre. I walked onto the show, and it was all in French, and they had explained to me that I was going to have an earpiece and there would be an interpreter and so on, which there absolutely was, and it seemed very strange, and I thought, OK, I'm sure this will work somehow, and I hope my earpiece doesn't break. And there was also another woman interpreting what I was saying in French as I was speaking in English. So basically 3 voices going in my head at one time. So I'm chatting away, everything seems absolutely fine, and suddenly a postman walked on. Like, no, actually a postman saying, "Let her forget Winslet, let her forget Winslet." And he puts it in front of me like this. I open up this letter and this sort of soft music starts playing and it says, "Kate, it is me, Jack Dawson, from the Titanic. I did not really die. I am here. I have come back to visit you again." And these doors slid open and this guy came through, dressed as Leo, basically, with this sticky-out hair and this great big white face and these sort of sores, weeping sores, and these black teeth. And then he did this strange thing. He grabbed his crotch. And I thought, please don't do it. Just please don't do it. And then he put his hands into his pants and pulled out an octopus. An actual octopus, which stank, and put it in front of me and gave me a kiss and walked off. It was completely bizarre.
And how do you manage after that? I mean, what was that the end of it, or
well,
what?
I just sort of sat there kind of laughing and thinking,
What am I
please
doing
don't
here?
spring any more surprises on me.
Yes,
and they forgot to wipe up the octopus goo after they'd taken it away.
God.
So I did the rest of the interview in this very confused state with just octopus slime all over the table. It was very funny.
All right, let's talk about Little Children, because it's an interesting film. It's about unhappiness. It's about people being unhappy and their focus centering maybe on a guy, a sex offender who comes to live among them. But he's the focal point, but he's not the reason for their unhappiness. There's a complex set of emotions.
Absolutely not. No, it's very much a sort of a subplot, that part of the story with that character, and it's more about the hysteria that his presence generates amongst this community.
That's right.
Which is sort of living in a strange sort of bubble of fear and sadness.
They've all got a problem, haven't they? The relationships are all messed up.
Well, it's very much about relationships, this film. You know, it's about people who are lonely and trapped and stifled and looking for something more, and the journeys that they all go on as a result of.
And your part's interesting because, you know, it's about a cold mother. It's about a mother not having a relationship with her daughter. You're just the opposite of that. So was it a difficult one to play for you?
It was very, very difficult, and I knew that going in, and I read the script, and I just thought, wow, this is amazing. I don't know if I can actually do this, you know. I didn't know if I really sort of had the tools, you know.
To be like that with a child actor, in a sense.
Well, that, but also it was such a complex character, and she's nothing like me. You know, this is an American film. It's set in an American suburb, and I haven't existed in that world at all. So I knew that it was going to be something that would really push me and challenge me, and it absolutely did. And when I finally saw the film in the summer, I sat back and had a really nice moment. I thought, God, I'm really proud to be in this. And you don't always have the kind of courage to admit that to yourself, you know.
Let's see a clip from it, because the focal point of the opening of the film is this child's playground where 3 mums, 3 mums who come regularly, and yourself, come with their children and natter. And into this walks a man with a very attractive man.
Beautiful man.
Beautiful man. And the 3 women lust after him, and they... Well, let's pick up where they've asked you to do something, to approach this man for the first time.
They do. This is a man whom they've never spoken to, but he's a big character in their fantasy lives. You know, these are women who cook dinners and look after their children, and that's their life.
Yes.
And so this is a big part of it, this man, and one of them dares my character to walk up and get his phone number.
It's coming.
So one of them bet me $5 I couldn't get your phone number.
$5, huh?
Yeah.
Could we split it 50-50?
It could be arranged. Doesn't have to be your real number.
Oh, well, in that case, sure. You got a pen?
Great. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
That's the start, of course, of what becomes an affair, which becomes the centrepiece of the film and, and has a profound effect on both your lives and the lives of people around you. You said earlier when you were looking at a script, you think, oh, yeah, great, but I've got to look this way, that way. What about when you pick up the script and it says a nude scene? I mean, what do you think? Because the love affair with Patrick Wilson is very expressly done.
It is,
and it has to be, because it has to be a big, passionate affair. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
The love scenes, you know, I remember when we did All the King's Men, I turned to Jude and I said, OK, you know what? I'm never doing this again, because it's just, I can't. I've had 2 kids, you know, there's a limit to how many times you can get away with this stuff. And then along comes little children, and there I am again. But the truth is, it doesn't get any easier, that stuff. You know, the moment arrives and you wake up in the morning and you think, oh no, it's today. But you just have to sort of get on with it, and it is very much part of the job. But as you say, you know, the dialogue between those 2 people, Sarah and Brad, during those scenes is so telling of how deeply they're falling for each other and how much they're changing as people as a result of this relationship.
But I know you've got very strong views, haven't you, about the perfect body, about the way that actors are supposed to project themselves and everything's supposed to be perfect in Hollywood and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it is something that is very important to me, and I do think, actually, particularly at the moment, it seems to be quite disturbing, all this stuff, this obsession with image and weight. It's got really out of control, you know, there isn't a day that goes by when there isn't another sort of look who's the thinnest thing, and it really upsets me, it really does.
In what sense? Why?
Well, what's that telling people? I mean, is that a good message? I don't think so. And certainly not young teenage girls, you know, who are very impressionable and very, very vulnerable. I remember being that person, and I've got a daughter, and I don't want her to see all these things and think, oh, so to be glamorous, then I have to be thin. I mean, it's completely unfounded. And also, magazine covers, you know, I have to go on magazine covers, and it's very much a part of the job, but they are retouched to within an inch of their life, you know, and they make people look a certain way that isn't actually real. And
that happened to you, didn't it?
It has happened
with the
to
Mendes
me.
magazine, you were
airbrushed.
Yes.
Well, I was actually stretched, I think.
Stretched?
Yeah, I think I was just stretched like that. But you know, it isn't fair when it suggests that a person looks a way that they don't, and also it just goes against my own personal principles. So yes. I do sort of wave my real flag, maybe a little bit too much, but I'm afraid I'm going to keep on waving it.
I think you should. I think it's an important issue, because it's not just a matter of glamour; it's a matter of health as well. I mean, these kids.
Absolutely.
And you said you've been there in that sense.
Yeah.
So in what sense was that when you were a child? You had weight problems, or
well,
what?
I was a very stocky child, and was definitely an overweight teenager, and I just naturally and sensibly lost the weight. But then I went a little bit too far, and I just didn't eat very much for a while. It was about a 6-month period, and I was really, really tired. I wasn't well. You know, I mean, this kind of thing, it can affect your fertility. I mean, it's really very dangerous, and I just wish that it would stop, actually.
Were you bullied at school because of the way
Yes,
you were?
I was, yeah.
And what, call names?
I was called Blubber.
Blubber.
And they put me in the art cupboard and called me Blubber.
That's not nice, is it?
Yeah, but look at me now!
Look at exactly. Where are they now?
Exactly.
You see, when you were that person, it's interesting to see you now as being as successful as you are. I mean, you're a wonderful actress and you're very successful. But did you, at that time, did you ever imagine that this would happen to you? That you were going,
No. I mean, I think I knew, or I certainly felt when I was quite young, 5 or 6, that I wanted to be an actress. And it was something that all my family were doing. It was like somebody got a new pair of shoes, the other person wanted the exact same shoes. My older sister wanted to be an actress. Oh, I wanted to be an actress as well. It was just part of our lives. But I didn't think about films at all. I didn't, you know, we didn't get a video machine until I think I was about 13. So, yes. You know, I just didn't know about that world at all. And to find myself in it now and doing well, you know, it is something that I'm unbelievably grateful for. And I have been so blessed to have worked with so many great people. And I've learned so much. That's the other thing about filmmaking that people sort of forget when you're that young and you're doing it. Yes. You know, there's no lesson for that. You learn on the job. Yes. And so I really had, you know, Ang Lee, Emma Thompson, Peter Jackson. I mean, these are people I worked with in my late teens. And it was such a blessing to have had that.
But not your husband?
No, I haven't worked
Sam
with him
Mendes.
yet.
No.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, a very good director. Of course, directed Jude Law in Road to Perdition.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean,
he has.
all the cross-references are quite
Yeah.
amazing. But what's his view now? I mean, you said that when you went to see this movie that you enjoyed it, Little Children. Sam, I guess, didn't go with you. Did he go independently to see it?
I didn't want to watch it with him because it sort of meant so much to me, and I think I was just nervous to sort of see if I was any good in it or not. and I said, look, babe, I'm going to have to just go on my own. He was like, absolutely, you know, of course. And then he saw it a little while after, and have to watch it. I don't get emotional now when I say this, but he came and he cried.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did he go on? What? Oh, that's nice. There's nothing nicer than having a proud.
No. I didn't mean to do that.
So, I mean, he was just so proud of what you'd done. And what did he say to you? Tell us what he said to you.
He said, you have so many secrets, and I'm incredibly proud. Sorry, what am I doing? OK, I'm stopping now. This is absolutely stupid.
It's not stupid at all. It's a nice soment with someone you loved, who you respect too, who said something to you which you found profoundly affecting. What's wrong with that?
Well, you know, nothing matters to me than, you know, what the people I love and what they think. And I don't read reviews because, to me, that sort of is so distorting. It's a distorted opinion, which is, you know, often a very nice one, but what matters to me really is what, you know, my mum and dad and my husband think.
And you don't read the gossip columns?
No.
Not anymore.
Well, they're going to write about me crying on parking now.
Well,
so.
that's all right. That's not like writing about the things they love writing about, like, oh, she's got cellulite and stuff like that. Important issue, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, well, you expect that, don't you?
I know, you absolutely do. Well, listen, I think it's a very interesting movie. I really do. And has it been opened? Is it opened in America yet? Is it?
It's opening on November the 3rd.
OK, well, all the best with it. Kate Winslet, thank you very much indeed. Kate Winslet.
Thank you very much.